It's all about covering up the number of infections in order to try to control public emotions and control the narrative, even if you can't control the virus. And it's going to continue to spread until they shut down society. I'm talking about quarantines of major cities. I'm talking about a declaration of medical martial law in one way or another. Well, it'll be called a national emergency. This will infect every city in America. There will be quarantines, there will be medical martial law. In some cases, starvation, desperation. People dying in their homes, the hospital beds will be overrun. We've now entered the rule by secrecy phase of the cover-up, where the CDC is actively deleting data to deceive the American people and withhold from America the truth about who's tested and perhaps even about the number of infections that are confirmed or even the number of deaths that occur. The more local you get, the smaller the government is, the more honest it becomes. But the more national you get, the more dishonest it is.
I'm officially declaring a national emergency.
As the virus continues to spread, so does fear. America, known for the drive-thru, usually restaurants and car washes, now coronavirus testing.
Health officials say this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Mr. Trump also announced that he was suspending interest payments on student loans, directing states to set up emergency operation centers, and working on drive-through test sites.
Saying this is more of a panic-demic than it is a pandemic.
Hospitals will be quickly overwhelmed with patients, and that all available beds will be filled around May 8th.
You have to realistically be concerned about community spread.
We're starting to see many new cases confirmed in New York, in Chicago. There are 15 U.S. states now that have coronavirus infections confirmed. Of course, it's killed at least 6 people in Washington. You may recall 4 weeks ago, I told you that Seattle had an outbreak that was already known by government agencies, i.e. Homeland Security and the CDC. They covered it up. They tried to just shut down testing. The CDC succeeded in shutting down testing for about 4 weeks, and during that time, the virus exploded all across America.
What in the fuck is going on? Now look, y'all. Y'all see all these trucks coming in? This shit, it took me a minute to grab the
Hold on, Tanner. Holy cow. Where are you guys going? We're going to war.
President, my highest and most solemn duty is the defense of our nation and its citizens. Last night, at my direction, the United States military successfully executed a flawless precision strike that killed the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, QASEM SOLEIMANI. The United States has the best military by far anywhere in the world. We have the best intelligence in the world. If Americans anywhere are threatened, we have all of those targets already fully identified, and I am ready and prepared to take whatever action is necessary.
امریکایی‌ها باید آماده باشند که سیلی بخورند. امریکایی‌ها بدانند که دیگه در دنیا در هیچ نقطه‌ای روی امنیت و آرامش رو بر اساس این جنایتی که کردن نخواهند دید.
انتقامی از آنها خواهیم گرفت که روزشون را تبدیل به شام سیاه خواهد کرد. میگویم، اعلام میکنم، امریکایی‌ها در دنیا دیگر آرامش نخواهند داشت.
You say you're looking forward to a better relationship.
I hope so.
Do you expect there will be a better relationship?
That needs joint efforts on both sides. You know that actually, if you look back to the past 4 decades, for when a new presidency came into office, you could always find that sometimes there were some ups and downs in this bilateral relationship. But in general, if you look back to the past 4 decades, it moves upward. So we hope that could still be the tendency during the Trump presidency. Well, not negotiating on sovereignty, that's not something negotiable, but negotiate on how to maintain the peace and the stability on the region.
Well, speaking of trade war, do you think that's coming?
We don't want that, but it's not only up to us. That needs efforts from both sides.
Does China think a trade war could be coming with the U.S.?
We are not prejudging anything, but I can tell you that while we have to prepare for the bad.
The declaration of a national emergency gives the office of the president additional power to institute martial law should he or she see fit to do so. What is martial law and how is it different from a national emergency? Martial law at its most basic level is defined as a law that allows the military to take control of civilian functions in a state or country. When implemented, the military becomes a state or country's governing body, resulting in civil law, rights, and the habeas corpus being suspended. It's important to note that during a national emergency, your constitutional freedoms are suspended. However, the main difference between a state of national emergency and martial law is that during a national emergency, the military doesn't need to take control of civilian functions. But you should keep in mind that martial law could quickly follow a declaration of national emergency. During both of these scenarios, your civilian rights can be suspended, allowing the government to impose its will, rules, and regulations on citizens.
We're going to be signing today and registering national emergency.
Branches of government to limit the abuse of power. But what happens when the chief executive can bypass all of that and make monumental decisions for the country completely on his own? It's called a national emergency. Legal scholars identify more than 100 powers the president has access to once he declares a national emergency. Many would be considered illegal under other circumstances. They are broad and can be used even if they don't relate to the emergency at hand. With one announcement, the president can freeze bank accounts or even shut down electronic communications inside the United States. He's only supposed to declare a national emergency when there is an immediate threat to the country, and getting anything through Congress could take too long. The Constitution doesn't give details about how to handle them, so many believe they're at the president's discretion. First, they say a national emergency should only last 1 year. They want the president to tell them which powers he's going to use and give them updates on progress every 6 months. With that information, Congress says they'll meet and decide whether they'll allow him to keep the emergency in effect.
And I don't care, frankly, if it's going to be beautiful or if it's going to rain like crazy. You folks, and we're going to work together, and we are going to make America great again, and I'll add, greater than ever before. Thank you very much, and enjoy the fireworks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.